Picture this. You're sitting at your laptop at 2 a.m., staring at a blank page. You have this story burning inside you. Maybe it's about heartbreak, or grief, or that moment when everything changed. You open ChatGPT, you type, "Write me a story about loss," and within seconds, you have 5 paragraphs of perfectly grammatical prose. Problem solved, right? Not quite, because here's what we need to talk about. When it comes to creative writing, using AI isn't just an ethical gray area. It's actively robbing you of the only thing that makes your story worth telling, your humanity. I'm Waseef Khan, a Syracuse University student. I use AI for research, for brainstorming, and for checking my grammar. But as someone who writes for fun, someone who's poured late nights into essays and stories, I've learned something crucial. There's a difference between tools that help you think and tools that think for you. When it comes to creative writing, to storytelling, that difference is everything. In a poll my group conducted, we saw that 93% of people said that AI makes students less creative. I've watched classmates submit AI-generated creative pieces, and I've done it myself sometimes on those busy days when I need to save time. I've seen the posts online where aspiring writers ask ChatGPT to develop their characters and story, and what I've discovered is this. AI can mimic the structure of a story, but it can never capture what makes a story matter. Let's talk about what AI actually does. When you ask it to write about trauma, it scans millions of texts and identifies patterns. It knows that trauma stories often include words like shattered, darkness, and healing. It can arrange these into coherent sentences. But here's what it can't do. It can't remember the specific weight of silence in a hospital waiting room. It can't know how your hand shook the first time you told someone you loved them. It can't understand that sometimes the most devastating moment isn't the breakup itself, but seeing a picture of them randomly pop up in your phone gallery. AI doesn't have a body like us. It's never felt a racing heartbeat or a sinking stomach. It's never experienced the gap between what we mean to say and what actually comes out. It's never felt world-ending trauma or fleeting romance. Every meaningful story we tell comes from that lived experience, from the chaotic, specific, irreplaceable reality of being human. For example, think about your favorite book or story. What makes it powerful isn't just the plot structure or the grammatically correct sentences. It's the author's unique understanding of some human truth that resonates with the reader. That type of understanding can't be outsourced. Maybe you're thinking that you're not a great writer, and that AI makes your stories better, and that's completely understandable. Writing is hard, it's vulnerable, it's just easier to let AI generate the first draft and to hide behind its polished sentences. But here's what you lose. You lose discovery. You lose that moment when you're writing, and suddenly you understand something about yourself, something you didn't know before. That moment when the character surprises you, when the ending reveals itself to you, and when you cry over something you just wrote. AI can't give you that. Those moments of revelation only come when you are doing the thinking, feeling, and struggling. Stories that touch on severely emotional and uncomfortable topics like 3 Days of Happiness by Suguru Miyake and Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka are irreplaceable and cannot be replicated by AI. Say you wrote a story about your grandmother's dementia. AI doesn't know how she called you by your father's name, or the way her garden slowly became overgrown, or that one lucid afternoon when she remembered everything, and you both pretended tomorrow wouldn't be different again. Your story about first love, or betrayal, or finding yourself. AI hasn't lived these. You have. And that's not a limitation. That's your power. Every time you let AI write your creative work, you're giving away the one thing that makes your story irreplaceable. Your perspective, your pain, your joy, your voice. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but professionals use AI in the workplace. Yeah, they do. For reports, emails, data analysis. But we're not talking about workplace writing. We're talking about creative expression, and about art, and about stories that matter. Others might say AI helps me overcome writer's block, and yes, it can be a brainstorming tool. Ask it for character designs and names instead. Use it to organize your thoughts, but the moment you copy and paste its prose into your story, you've crossed from using a tool to replacing yourself. Some argue AI democratizes writing for those who struggle, but using AI to write your creative work doesn't make you a better writer. It prevents you from becoming one. The struggle is the point. That's where you develop your voice, your style, and your unique way of seeing the world. So here's what I'm asking of those who watch this video. The next time you sit down to write something creative, a story, a poem, a personal essay, make it a commitment. Write it yourself. All of it. Feel the frustration of finding the right word. Experience the joy when a sentence finally clicks. Let yourself discover what you're trying to say by actually saying it. Use AI for research if you need to. Use it to check your grammar. But the creative work? That has to be yours, because the world doesn't need more AI-generated stories. It's drowning in them already. What we need are your stories. Messy, imperfect, deeply human stories that only you can tell. Stories that come from your specific heartbreak, your specific joy, and your specific way of making sense of this complicated, beautiful yet painful experience of being alive. Don't let AI steal that from you. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And no algorithm can write it but you.